What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon Kindle at Create Space. The link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. This video is titled, But My Mama Told Me I Could Date White Girls. This is a trollerific topic, right? Well, I was thinking about something my mother told me years ago. Because I remember sisters like, well, don't interracially date. Your mom was black. You want to be pro-black, blah, blah, blah. Now, I've never dated outside my race. No, but I remember having this conversation, and my mother was like, you know what? I've seen you date women. I've tried to date with the sisters. You should try to just get other. You ain't got to date black chicks no more. That's enough. If you want to get your white girl, Hispanic girl, Asian girl, go ahead, because they don't know how to act. And my mother is a big advocate for sisters, but what wound up making her say that was her own experiences with sisters as we both got older, and her looking at it like, and then her talking about herself when she was younger, and it's like, son, you're only getting older, and you ain't got to put up with none of this stuff, because she understands. I'm single. I'm like, cool, right? But she's like, yeah, you ain't got to put up with none of that stuff, but you ain't got to be quote unquote loyal to these women, because obviously they don't know how to act on a regular basis. And it wasn't just about relationships. Like I said, when she would go out in her life, because we live in two different cities. One of the cities she lives in, the Chi, where one of the places I grew up, place I consider home, one of the places I consider home. And she's like, she goes out and she's seeing the attitudes and the difference in femininity between each race. Now, like my mother would talk about when she was younger, she definitely was hard to deal with certain things, but she never. Even with that, she never was masculine. She was always feminine, and she's like, this is not cool. Like, and then she would compare it to the other women. Like, yeah, you can have a woman with attitude, but at least be a lady. And she's seeing that, and I'm like, yeah, it's a problem. And to see the attitude comes out of nowhere, the masculine dynamic was just too much. And more so, the rebelliousness to reciprocity. Had my mother talk to me one day. She said, I know you probably don't want to have no more kids, because she got a grandson, because I got a son. But she said, I know you probably don't want to have no more kids, but you ain't got to be alone. And go ahead. It ain't gonna bother me if she can't use your comb, you can still bring her home. And I was laughing. I'm like, yeah, I mean, and plus, we saw, and mothers don't, mothers of sons, I think, have a different perspective than mothers of daughters. And the reason I say that is because, even in my own family and friends, you see the difference as how the mothers look at the dating prospects of the sons than they do the daughters, right? Because they'll tell their daughters, go get a white guy, like, no problem, But the sons, they don't say that really to, until it reaches a tipping point. And I remember a couple of our family members actually were dating interracially, and they weren't interrogating the women. They just chilling, you hanging out. And they started looking at the women like, looking at the women who weren't black, and comparing them, not looks wise, because I could say the black women were definitely more attractive than the non-black women. So it wasn't the looks. They started looking at the practices, the character of these non-black women. They're like, damn, she's real considerate. She's real concerned. She really wants to cater to them. She really actually cares about them and loves them, and it's not, and she wants to do things to show it on a regular basis. And the our mothers weren't accustomed to seeing women actually cater to us as men, and it made them go, okay, this, and to a degree, it also made them, even though these women are all married, it made them even look at the marital situations like, and that's in the aspect of, okay, I have to, make effort on a regular basis because I wasn't, I can tell that I've been slacking. And it wasn't one of those things where, they never did it, but they saw the difference, between the non-black women and the black women. And as far as just the same, you give them the same amount of time around people and around the family, the actions were different. I'm not saying that they weren't sisters who weren't caring and considerate and loving, but I'm saying when you have sons who they date black women, the majority of the black women aren't, and then you interracially date, and the minority of the women you interracially date are considerate. It's like, have I been telling my boy something wrong? Right? And what does that mean, And sisters don't want to hear that part because I guess it's like, you don't deserve anybody treating you with kindness, consideration, respect, concern. It just, forget all that. And then you see these guys like, oh, okay, no problem. Now, I'm not saying you should give up on black women as a black man. I'm saying, some of our mothers have told us, look, I'm giving up on advocating for black women because, in their own child's life and in their own personal life, they've seen that, these women aren't bringing any value to their sons' lives. And that becomes problematic. The same way a woman with a father, the father probably would want his daughter to be with a black man, but if she's constantly running into, as my homegirl would say, jackals and vultures, dad would be like, look, nah, baby, look, you ain't got to, nah. If they ain't working for you, if they ain't hitting on nothing, and I've been seeing they ain't hitting on nothing, go get something else. Go try something else. Go put yourself out there, and hopefully other people to talk to you, because this ain't what it is. Because this is not a good look. And I think that's very much so fair. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people seem to have issue with that, but it is what it is. I kind of think it's hilarious to a degree because, I haven't had that conversation in a while where a woman say, but your mama black. And if I tell them, yeah, my mama said, I ain't got to talk to you. Like, I feel like, and my mother really doesn't have any sway over what I do. She never really did like that. I'm pretty solid on my decision making, but I felt like I could be the water boy. Mama said, mama said I ain't got to date you. You got all them teeth and no toothbrush. That's why you ornery. But I think at the end of the day, for the ladies, just understand that some of these guys, they've been given a green light by black women to say, look, you ain't gotta, you know what? If they don't know how to act, don't even sweat it. Don't even sweat it. And life is in a certain extent, life is too short to be dealing with a constant attitude from a person, knowing all of the ups and downs of life that you're gonna actually have to go through. You're gonna have to take some things on the chin and face some adversity. But to constantly be dealing with in a relationship. Yeah, and I understand there's a racial dynamic that might not even work out. But the reason I'm making a trollerific topic the title is because they just want their sons to be around women who are feminine, who actually like men, and are considerate. Like, just y'all just flip out when you see white girls. So I know y'all gonna look at it and start commenting just on the title alone. So it is what it is. Peace.